Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Survival Architect, and in today's video we are starting a new series that I like to call Monthly Multiplicity. Essentially, once a month we are going to be playing a different game that is not Minecraft, simply because I play a lot of Minecraft, and to keep me a bit more motivated and more likely to play the game more often, playing another game once or twice a month is definitely something that I want to do. So this month we're playing Mini Metro. This is a game where you have to transport your customers, these little shapes that are in the trains and on the stations, between stations using a metro in some given cities. So I have actually played a fair bit of this on a different computer. This is the first time I've downloaded it on here though. And as you can see, I've played a little bit today, just a couple of thousand points, a couple of runs, just to get back into it. So we're going to jump into London and redesign the original Underground Railway, as the description of this says, using a whole bunch of lines and stations. So let's jump into it right now. So this is the basic setup for Mini Metro. You can see a little shape just popped up here. Now that is a customer. These bigger shapes are the stations. Now, as a square shape, this one wants to go, or this customer I should say, wants to go to this station. Now, a customer cannot spawn on the station that it is trying to get to. Obviously, it's got a transport. So to get the customer from here to here, you draw in a line. Now, because I don't want to have that little triangle cut off as well, I'll take this one down here, and then to make this a little less of a sharp curve, I'm going to drag this up here. Apparently I can. Okay, I can. Now, okay, let's hit play, see what happens. So the train picked up the square, dropped him off here, and is going to continue down to this triangle. Now, when the square was dropped off, you saw up in this top right hand corner, I got a point, and a triangle has appeared down here. Now, I have a further 2 lines, but before I use those, I'm actually just going to connect these up. Now, these dashed lines here are tunnels. Obviously, since we're in London, this is the Thames River. That's its basic shape. Obviously, you know, it's not that square, but it's good enough for this game. So, whenever you go across a river, you need a tunnel, or across under. Whenever you go under a river, you need a tunnel. And essentially, you start off the game with 3 tunnels. I've used 2 here. Now, this will probably end up changing later on, but for now, we're going to leave it as is. So, let's hit play, and let's speed things up a little bit. Now, you'll see that there's another circle that spawned up here. Now, I don't want to have more than one circle on this line, this yellow line to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another line here, another red line, make a loop. Make sure that the corners are as shallow as possible, and hit play. And you'll see that this circle is now serviced into this loop by this red line, and anything that spawns at this circle can get to these 2 here. We've now got another interesting spawn up here. I'm just going to connect up that red line and let it continue. So, we've got another spawn over here. I'm just going to connect that to there, and I don't have any more tunnels. Great. Yeah, I'm just going to connect it to there, I guess. Now, I do know that if, say, a square customer appears here, it can travel from here to this circle station, get off, get on this yellow train, and travel up here. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Okay, I'm going to connect this yellow line, because then I don't have... Yeah, then there's only 2 circles on each line at most. I don't want to have like 3 circles on this one and then 1 here. Okay, another spawn. This one can go over here. So, this game works in weeks. You might have seen the clock up in that top right hand corner. Now, this is the start of week 2, so I've got a new locomotive, and I can pick between 2 things, a line or some more tunnels. Now, because I currently don't need another line, I'm going to go for the tunnels, because they are pretty useful. As you can see, there's just a tunnel going straight across. I'm currently using all 3 of my tunnels, so to make this into a... Oh, that's not going to be a good idea. Okay, give me a second and I will rejig this blue line to make it a bit more efficient. So what I've actually done is I've chosen to remove that yellow line entirely because it really wasn't needed that much, because now I have another locomotive, which is essentially just another train that I can put on my line. Now, these trains will continue going around. Currently, this red line is very small, and this blue line is very, very large. So, I've put the extra locomotive on this blue line. Actually, it's going the wrong direction, but that's okay. And now, we've got another spawn in the middle here. So, I'm just going to switch the direction of that locomotive. And I'm going to put my yellow line back in, going from here to here to here, here, and back to the middle. So now, I have my 3 lines set back up in some loops. Okay, so obviously this isn't the most efficient metro I've ever made. Up here, you can see that this station has an awful lot of customers waiting to be picked up by a train. And this bigger, darker grey circle has started to appear. Now, if that like dark grey sliver just here ends up completely filling up, the game ends. Essentially, that means that your customers haven't been served properly, and they will stop coming to your metro. So, you lose the game, and you have to restart right from scratch. So, the goal is to stop that from filling up completely, and hope that your trains can service it properly. But for some reason, nothing's being picked up there. That's odd. Oh, it's not connected. That's why. Moron. So the reason that that wasn't working was actually because it wasn't connected. I seem to be a bit of an idiot sometimes, and I just don't realize that things aren't connected. So I've now connected up all my stations properly, and yeah, now you see that grey circle is starting to decrease now that there's no passengers there. So once you clear a station, the circle decreases and you get back to the state of transporting all your passengers that you were at to begin with. Now I'm going to pick some more tunnels because I don't need a carriage yet, and I'm gonna have to do something here with, is that connected? Yep. I'm gonna have to do something here with this red and yellow line. So let me rejig this really quickly. I'll speed it up and I'll be back in just a sec. So, I have now rejigged all my lines. If we hit play, you'll see that all the slightly grayer locomotives will disappear in just a second, and I'm going to put in an extra locomotive on this yellow line and on the blue line, just so that there's that little bit of extra capacity for the customers. And I'll connect up the blue line over here to anything new that pops up. I'll connect up the red line over here to anything new that pops up, and the yellow line. So yeah, red line goes out here. If something appears down in the bottom of the screen, I'll probably drag out the yellow line to service it. But you can see now that the metro is running a fair bit more efficiently. The only thing is I've got 2 stations where a lot of interchanges of passengers could happen. So what's going to end up happening when I'm at about week 8 is that I'll get these things called interchange stations, where it basically just increases the capacity of a station. Whole goal of that is to stop these kind of intersections between lines from overloading too quickly, and it basically just makes my life a whole lot easier. Now this blue line seems to be serviced pretty well, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this locomotive as soon as it moves out of that station over here to this red line to service all those extra shapes in here that are not currently being serviced. Perfect, a new locomotive. And I'm going to grab a new carriage, actually. Now these carriages here can be dumped on the back of a train, and they increase the capacity of that train from 6 passengers to 12. Now I don't need it right yet, or quite yet I should say. I'm going to put the extra locomotive on this blue line, and then I'm just going to hit play and hope that everything goes well. So you can see that I've just put that carriage on the back of this red, and that's just simply because it needs that little bit of extra capacity and that I don't currently have. And yeah, it just cleared out that entire station. So that's kind of the point of the carriage, is it gives me a little bit of leeway. I'm actually going to disconnect this red line from up here. simply because that's a really sharp turn. I'm going to chuck that down there and then replace it as it was. So now the blue line will just come through and service this triangle and then bring it across into the interchanges. So I've got these 3 interchanges in the middle. They will be what I upgrade with the interchange stations. And I'll probably have other lines coming through and using those interchanges as well as soon as I get them. I haven't actually been offered another line yet, so okay. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how this run is going. No, that won't help. Okay. Got a new spawn down here. Just for now, we're gonna connect this blue up and hope that we get another line in a day's time or so. So we've reached the end of the week. I'm gonna grab another line, and you might have seen when I had that footage sped up that a new shape down here has spawned. Now this is a rare shape, and essentially they usually spawn either in the very middle of the city or on the very outside of the city, and they're usually a pain when they spawn on the outside of the city. So actually there is another one on this yellow line, this plus sign here. It's a dodecahedron. So there's Pentagon and the hospital sign. They both require interchange stations on their respective lines, because otherwise, well, you're going to have a plus sign spawning up here and or a customer I should say, and a Pentagon customer appearing here, and what will end up happening is if this yellow line isn't connected, they won't go anywhere and just cause a bit of a pain. Now, I've had this extra circle appear up here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our new blue line, I'm going to run it over here, down to this square. I've still got 3 tunnels, over here into the Pentagon, up to this circle, to the triangle, and then up into the top. Well, back to loop it up. So, hopefully that will service pretty much everything that I need it to for now, and kind of keep the congestion out of this middle area. So from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed up the footage, and anything that, if I do any sort of major changes, you will see them. Oh, sorry, you will. Okay, hang on. I'm freaking out. Okay, sorry. If you see me, if I do any major changes, I will stop the speedy uppy bit and I will go through them with you. But otherwise, if it's just like another station appearing like this diamond that spawned here, I'm just going to really quickly connect up my line to it like so, and then hit play. Although I'm about to rejig this because I kind of freaked out a bit. So I'm going to speed up the footage now. I'll be back when I do a major rejig, which is definitely going to happen. Okay, it's a new week. We are going to grab a locomotive, and yes, we have a new line. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game and I'm going to rejig some more stuff because this blue line is getting awfully long and there's just customers building up everywhere. So, and I've got some really weird shapes down here that, oh sorry, like weird shapes of lines down here that I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to rejig this. I'll be back to explain it in just a sec. The footage will be sped up. So I've now rejigged this metro system to kind of make this blue line a bit shorter to service some of the stations in here. Now this green line is relatively long, but I'm pretty sure that dropping off its passage, it's got all of the major shapes on it. Yeah, it's got a square here, a circle here, and a triangle here. So if I put a locomotive on here, on this this green line, have I got one? No, I don't. I need to find a locomotive from somewhere. Hang on. Oh no, yeah, one's just appeared. So, once I get, yeah, this green line is just that little bit longer, but it should be able to service all of the major shapes, and then the kind of more rare ones can be dropped off at this square station or this circle station over here. This will probably end up changing as I get another line. I'll probably shrink this green loop and put in another, I think the next one's a pink loop in this area here. So that's the plan. Currently, I'm not going to touch either this light blue, this red, or this yellow line. So I've just rejigged the green and light blue lines. Again, I know what I just said, but I'm just hoping to be able to clear cut kind of some of this area because, you know, most of the stations up here on the blue line are being serviced relatively well, but we're just getting a bit of congestion down here. So hopefully this will fix it. Okay, it's been fully rejigged. I still don't have an extra tunnel because that blue is still coming across. Okay, we've cleared the problem up here. Hopefully that will no longer be permanently angry. I've got my tunnel back, so I'm gonna... What? I still don't have any extra tunnels, so this pink is gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay. Oh, and we've got another thing out here. Okay. This green line is getting awfully long, and I've got very few spawns in that space there, so... not liking it, you know. I can't seem to lift the tunnel from anywhere either, so we're just going to have to hope that we can get through the week with this pink line not being a full loop, and pray that we don't end up losing this match. I have rejigged the red line a little bit just there, included another couple of stations, and just kind of expanded it out a little bit because it's a pretty small line, and then I've moved out this light blue to connect to this star up here. So, week 8 is done. I'm going to grab my final line for this run through, because you can only have these, 7 lines, and I'm going to shrink this green line down. So this is as big as the map is going to get, by the way, hopefully, but I'm going to shrink this green line down and hope that that's going to fix some of my problems. Okay, that's my kind of current thinking. Hopefully this will work. I've changed up this pink line so that it doesn't require any tunnels, which means I should have one left. Yeah, I still have one tunnel, but I'm gonna need some more so that I can loop up this pink with some of oh crap, I don't have anything there. Okay, dark blue. Hopefully I can link up this pink with if I get some more tunnels, that is, with some stations up here to service them a bit better, and hopefully I can link up with this brown line a bit better, because I still don't have any spawns in this big open space over here. So hopefully that'll appear soon. I really need to get some interchanges soon, because these 3 stations in here are so full. I also need more locomotives, but it's Sunday. We just need to get through the rest of this day. Hopefully, come on, finish. This is a problem. Is there anything that's empty? You're empty. You can very quickly go there. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's it for London. I didn't do particularly well. I mismanaged my yellow line, as you can see, but that was a pretty good run. So, obviously, I'm not going to continue doing London today. We're going to do one more run. We're going to jump into Paris, which is the next map, I believe. Oh, that's restart. We're going to jump into the next map, which I am relatively sure is Paris, and hope that we can get a better score than 1,241, which is what we just got on London. So, let's jump into it now. We've got a slightly different setup here. These aren't in a loop yet, so I'm just going to connect them with a normal line, and we'll start the time ups and the speeding up and slowing down of footage. I've got a funny feeling that this map is going to be a bit more difficult because we're probably going to have a station spawn on this island here, and there's just more river, so it's going to be a bit more challenging with the tunnels. But other than that, hopefully it'll be pretty good. Oh, there's another island there. Yeah, we're definitely going to get some spawns, which is going to be rough on the tunnel front. Hopefully not too bad, but it's still going to be a bit annoying. Now, as you can probably tell, the map is slowly zooming out. You start very much zoomed in, and you do zoom out. So, week 2, got a new locomotive. We also want a new line. We don't need a carriage yet, so we're going to grab a new line. Oh, okay. Went through another week without really saying much. We need a new locomotive, and we're going to grab a new line again, because we don't need a new carriage. Now I'm just going to rejig this a bit, and there we go. New station. So we're going to jog this up here to you, and then down there. So I've now used 2 tunnels. We do actually get more tunnels. We've got another 2 left, but it's still going to be a bit rough on the tunnel front when we start getting spawns across the river. That purple line is probably going to change at some point in the very near future, but for now, oh well, it'll be fine. This brown line can get extended to that square. All in all, this is going really well so far. There hasn't been any timers that have popped up, and it seems to be all functioning pretty well. I'm just a bit worried about this purple line in the long term. It's going to start getting a lot longer, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah, still. Okay, do we need... No, we need more tunnels. We're going to need more tunnels, because I've still got an extra line, and I could probably expand out kind of this blue line or this purple line if I needed to, but, you know, hopefully we don't need to use that other line for a little while. And we've got these... We're now back up to 4 tunnels, so this should be pretty good. Alright, that's week 5. New locomotive, and let's grab a new carriage. So that we can expand the capacity of, say, this... Oh, we don't need... Yeah, we should probably put another locomotive on this yellow line. Just because that seems to be pretty full, because you've got all the stars trying to get to the 1 star station. I might try and connect that star up with like a big, more express loop very, very soon, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to need to. Let me rejig some stuff. I'll be back. So I've just chucked in this orange line, and its purpose is to kind of get anything that's stopped at one of the interchanges for either the brown or the blue or the purple lines, and to... Oh, that blue line... Oh, no, it is. And to pick them up and deliver them to their rare stations. So the Star and the Pentagon, they're a bit of a pain. That orange line is simply serving those and then just like kind of collecting passengers from those other stations and dropping them off wherever they can. This purple line is getting extremely long. Hopefully we can get either a line or an interchange in the next week and kind of put in a new loop in this area here. And then we can kind of shrink that purple line and make it a bit more efficient. Alright, week 6, we've got new locomotive and we've got new line. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to pause this, rejig some stuff, take that greeny browny line off the yellow line there, and we're going to rejig this purple. I'll be back in a sec once I've rejigged it. Okay, I've put in this weird kind of like lime color. Oh, why is that orange line locked? Oh, I just deleted my orange line. Give me a sec. Okay, the orange line's back in business. I've currently got this like kind of minty greeny line taking up the excess from where that purple line was, and now the two locomotives on the purple line can pretty easily pick up all their passengers. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this extra carriage onto this, what is this, mint green kind of color line, and hopefully that can service the entire thing for an extended period of time. Okay, week 7, we've finally got our first interchange. Now I'm going to pause this real quick. My extra locomotive is going to go on this greeny, I don't know what to call it, mint line? Is that what it is? And hopefully we can get this cleared, but my first interchange is going to go, where is it? Here on this square, because we've got, what, 3 lines feeding into it, and I'll probably end up taking a 4th at some point. So yeah, that square has got bigger. It is now an interchange, and that square, this triangle, and probably this triangle will become interchanges at... Oh no, it'll be this triangle up here that'll become interchanges at some point. We're about to die. Yeah. So we lost down here on this mint green line. Bit of an odd one to lose on, but that's okay. So that's really all I've got time for today. Obviously, 2 runs takes a fair bit of time for me. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. It's nice to take a little bit of a break from my scheduled programming. As I said, this will be a monthly series, so next month I'm thinking about playing another mini game, not mini metros. It'll be mini motorways, hopefully. So thank you all very much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more stuff from me, the aforementioned Minecraft content, or keep in touch with this series as I release it month to month, then subscribe to the channel. I've been the Survival Architect, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.